Fanny Jane Kavanaugh. Daddy had 5 trucks running in Mac Lane. And every time something had to be done to them, I had to do it. I've sat out there in the hot sun by myself, and you know how hard it is to change a big truck tire.
Yep.
And change every tire on them trucks. And get them back on the road. And me and him didn't get along. If he was here today, we still wouldn't get along.
Yeah.
If it hadn't have been for my mama, I wouldn't have never had a thing, nothing.
What is your favorite memory of your mom?
That she treated me like I was supposed to be treated. She was good to me.
That's good. Do you remember anything about your grandparents?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mama's mother and Daddy. She was a part Cherokee Indian. And I think Grandpa was just pure Irish. But he was short and heavy set. She was tall and black-headed, you know. But their first child was completely handicapped.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he couldn't even feed himself.
Yeah.
And they said he wouldn't live to be 5, 6, then at 15. He lived to be 67.
Wow.
But the reason he did, Grandma died at 54. But she had, 11 kids, and she had cancer. But I remember going there and eating. I remember going there and staying all night. Now, Grandpa, he was a smart man. He could do anything. I think Mama got a lot of hers from him, you know. But he was wild. I mean, I remember him going to dances on Saturday night and leaving Grandma home to take care of Posey, you know. And I can remember him drinking, you know. Now, Grandpa Hampton, he lived with us several years, you know.
Okay.
And he was just a good, sweet, humble man like my daddy.
You won't meet one no sweeter.
Yeah. Do you remember your grandparents?
I remember my grandma. I don't remember my grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
She was a good woman.
What do you remember about her?
Not a whole lot. She used to live over at Reynolds Park, close to Reynolds Park. And then she come to stay with us at one time. But she was the best thing that ever happened to me. I wouldn't have traded her for nothing.
Yeah. Who was your biggest influence growing up?
Probably my mama.
Yeah. Set a really good example for you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, nobody perfect, but I think mine was just as close as they get.
Yeah.
I remember my daddy reading the Bible to us, you know, at night. And I remember my mama singing hymns, you know. And my daddy was one, I never heard him in my life say but one cuss word. And that was at this old wild horse, that mule he had got. He was plowing the back and that mule started acting up. And my daddy said a cuss word, and he saw me and my brother just standing behind a tree just killing ourselves laughing, and we thought that's the funniest thing we ever heard. And my daddy told us to get in the house because he's afraid he might say another one, I guess.
How about you, Grandpa? Who was the biggest influence in your life growing up?
I'd have to say my mama.
Yeah.
because I didn't like my daddy.
Yeah. What kind of things did she do that you looked up to, that you wanted to emulate in your life?
If I had anything if I needed anything, Mama got it.
Yeah.
Daddy never give me nothing.
She did anything for you.
That's right. That's the reason I'm here today.
She kept you alive.
That's right.
That's good.
I had a sweet mama, but I had a sorry ass daddy.
I look forward to meeting her. Trying to think of some other questions I can ask. What are your favorite memories of Dad and Tanya? What are some of your favorite memories of them?
Your daddy, when when he was about 4 or 5 years old, I was vacuuming one Saturday and I went down the hall and I got to the bathroom door and I heard Blake say, "Kitty, be still. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to shave you." I pushed the door open and he had emptied a whole bottle of lotion on that cat and had the razor. Oh, Lord, that kid. Now, he was always doing something funny, or saying something funny. Everybody loved Blake because Blake, he could see you this morning and act tickled to see you. He'd see you again this evening. He'd act like he hadn't seen you that morning. He was still glad to see you, I tell you what, the time that all of y'all came home, do you remember that? You don't remember that?
Which one?
After y'all moved out west,
Mm-hmm.
all of you came. It was 9 of you. You remember that? Grandma Barlow came too.
He couldn't count that high.
How old was you?
It depends on what time. We've moved so many times. I'm trying to figure out which one it was. So when we came back out here,
Y'all all came and stayed a few days. Seemed like it was Christmas time.
was that when we moved back out here?
No,
We were just visiting?
you came visiting.
Hmm.
But I thoroughly enjoyed that. And I fixed a dish pan full of gravy one morning and 60 biscuits and 30 sweet rolls.
And none of it was left.
Definitely not. Definitely my favorite meal.
And I don't know, Tanya was always very quiet,
Well behaved.
well behaved.
Well behaved.
The exact opposite of Dad.
Yeah. Yeah, Blake was all done doing something.
Sounds like a Kavanaugh trait. in
Watch
the
him
men.
out.
One time I carried him to Tanglewood and he was swimming
Mm-hmm.
in this other woman. First thing I know, Blake was gone. Right in the men's dressing room. Well, of course, I was going right after him. And this guy said, "You can't go in there." I said, "Well, my son's in there." He said, "What does he look like?" I told him, he says, "I'll get him."
How about you, Grandpa? What's your favorite memory of the kids?
I just loved them and liked to play with them. Coaching them in Little League, mainly.
Back when they both played baseball and softball?
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have fun on the
Yeah, I coached
field.
in Little League in fact, I helped get Little League started in Walkertown.
Yeah.
I think I still got my books while I coached ball.
Yeah.
I had one team 1 year, went 20-0.
That's a good
Yeah,
record.
we loved our 2 kids.
But every kid I had, they listened, they paid attention.
Yeah.
I told them if they didn't pay attention, they wouldn't play for me.
What's your favorite time as a child growing up?
Oh, man, there's lots. I remember coming over here all the time. Go swimming, just hanging out. Back when they had Sadie and Bandit in the backyard. I vaguely remember the the chows y'all used to have.
Yeah.
Vaguely. They don't have a great
That big
memory.
old dog y'all had, what kind was that?
A Mastiff. Xena, the tan one. Had a
Yeah.
black face.
He'd stick his head in the mailman's window, car window.
Oh, that was the Rottweiler. That was probably Goliath.
No, it wasn't the Rottweiler. That
That must
other
have been
one.
the Mastiff.
It was that big one.
Yeah, that was our Mastiff. She was great.
He was a big dog.
Yeah, we ended up getting rid of her when we moved out to Utah back
Yeah.
in 2000. I think it
Yeah.
was when we moved back to Utah.
2000's when y'all moved back.
Yeah, about 6th grade I think is what it was for me.
I got 1 or 2 dog houses still out there.
Yep.
What was your first impressions of each other?
Of me and him.
Yeah, what was your first impression
When
of?
you first met.
So you had this blind date, right? What was the first thing that went through your head, if you can remember?
You gotta be kidding.
I thought,
That was your thought.
Many,
You gotta
many
be-
years ago.
I thought, he's good looking.
What made you fall in love? Do you remember that?
I have no idea.
I don't either.
Was it fast or was it a while?
Did you guys fall in love quickly, or was it?
We
A long-
dated for 4 years, really. From the time we met, it was 4 years before we got married.
But how fast did you know you were in love with each other?
Oh, Lord, I don't know. Do you?
No,
Mm.
sure don't.
How old were you when you got married?
I was almost, I was almost 21, and he was 23.
I think so.
Trying to think what else.
Didn't own nothing.
I think that's most married couples when we start out.
Yeah, you know.
I still don't own anything, and I've been married for 5 years.
Well, I thank the Lord we don't owe nobody nothing now.
How long y'all been married?
Going on 6 years. 6 years in August.
What day in August?
August 13th.
We got married August 2nd.
Yeah. Got married on a Friday the 13th.
Yep.
What else can you think of? Well, I think that's good.
What was the worst injury you had growing up? Any bad injuries?
I didn't have none growing up.
I
Not
got
until you
hit.
got in the
now.
military.
No.
I was drawing a bucket of water. That was before we moved to where we had the spring. But anyway, I was drawing a bucket of water with iron wells and let it slip out of my hand. It hit me in the head with a bucket full of water.
Mm.
When I went in the house, the blood was shooting out of my head, hitting the wall on the other side. And Daddy got a car. We hadn't had a car, but Daddy got a car the week before. Well, he wasn't at the house. He was at the barn. Well, Mama forgot we had a car, and it was